Jamie Paper and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, this is a weird time for us to be doing this, so that may have something to do with that.
Well, we put it in the paper and on our website that the meeting is at 9 o'clock, so that means the public would be able to log on and see what I'm seeing right now, and I see the meeting going on.
Okay, and nobody's getting a thing saying, hey, how come I don't see you guys?
No, I haven't gotten any text.
Okay, so we're on?
They're just gonna watch it tonight.
My thing is still booting up. I got a circle going around the center of the picture.
Refresh. Mine's up fine.
But Ronnie said he could see it live on his phone.
I can too.
Sandy says she can see it on her phone.
Okay.
So let me just leave you on my phone?
Say that again?
You can just, you can listen in on, okay.
Dan McDowell just texted me and said I couldn't see it until just now. Now it's fine. That's a text message I just got from Pam McDowell.
Okay. So.
There's a little delay.
So should we start?
I'd say you can start.
Okay. Okay, welcome everyone to our last meeting of 2020. Amen to 2020. Would everyone please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is going to go for an hour. It's at 11, right?
Okay. Yeah, just tell him we can hear him so he knows.
Are you recording that? Oh, it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording, yep.
Okay, so I'm leaving my phone on, so you gotta be careful what you say.
Okay.
Okay, we got, first on the agenda, we got approval of minutes.
I didn't see them. I seen an email yesterday that she had updated some. You need to mute him.
Yeah.
So he can hear us, but we don't wanna hear him.
He's turning down, muted.
Yeah, just mute him.
Tell him to mute himself is what he should do, and then just take it off when he wants to say something.
I'll tell you what. It's now in my ear.
Okay, there you go. That works for everybody. Okay.
I know Jesse sent them out, I believe yesterday I seen them. I don't know if, she said she had them, but I don't see them here.
We'll just table the minutes to the next meeting. Okay, motion to approve the bills. Has anybody gone through the invoices?
That's just from the previous meeting, right?
Oh.
Do we have any new ones to look at?
I didn't do this agenda, so I'm not sure.
No, I didn't put any bills in.
So
Okay.
there's nothing new, just the one.
Okay, so there is none.
So there are none.
Yep.
Okay, easy enough. Okay, so, usually we have privilege of the floor. It's not on the agenda, but
Well,
this,
he's got something way at the very bottom here.
any other town business?
I guess, I don't know, whatever.
Well, no, normally this would be the time we'd open it up, to anyone that wants to call one of the telephone numbers that are listed on the screen.
Well, could I do one?
Sure.
Okay, Jerry Duran stopped by my house yesterday and dropped off, a couple things here. I'll pass them around. Remember, earlier I mentioned that, the Watertown Wolves were coming up and like, I think it's like 3 guys were coming in and, having like drills with the kids and stuff. Anyway, and previously that they were kinda ending that. Well, they contacted him and they're gonna extend it all the way to February 24th. It's 2:30 to 3:45. Any 12 and under minor hockey player, and you gotta bring equipment and a mask, helmet and everything, to participate in this. And then, so which is kinda nice because the time periods that they're proposing to do this is time that we generally don't rent ice. We generally rent ice after 3 or after 4 o'clock, you know, so this works out.
What times are they proposing?
2:30 to 3:45. So it's during the school day kind of thing. And then they got, Learn to Skate program for our ACS students starting January 5th, and that's also going to February 25th. They got, I guess this would be pre-K to 2nd grade on Tuesdays, Thursdays 3rd to 6th grade, and that's 2:15 to 3:15, also times where the ice just sits idle. So this is taking advantage of that. It's open to any ACS elementary student, helmet and skates are required, and then, they have to contact the main office of the school, by December 30th to do this. And there's, I don't know, Jerry's, this must be going around the school, so there's an email address and a phone number to take advantage of this. So anyway, I was talking about this, I don't know, you know, look at this, a little bit, and I talked briefly with Ronnie yesterday, the day before. Is this something we wanna, I don't know, I can go both ways on this. Do we wanna charge for? Or how would we should have some kind of formal thing, because what's occurring right now, I mean, even like since last spring and until now, our, Town of Alexandria youth sports really haven't been doing anything, but in the past, whenever they'd use like the school gym or anything in the school, that kind of stuff, we would get charged by the school for somebody to, custodian, somebody to open up the building, somebody to close the building, that kind of stuff. They would charge us. And historically, we have never charged, the town anyways, to my knowledge, I've never charged the school for ordinary, you know, for like the high school boys and girls hockey teams. We did charge rice around, nothing else though. And this is, kind of falls into that category.
Right. I'm just thinking, I don't have a problem with each entity charging the other, because otherwise it's like, well, we'll do this for you, you do that for us, and then it's like, well, is somebody doing more for one than others doing for the other? And it just seems like it would be very straightforward if each entity charged each other a fee, a fair fee, based on costs, and then at the end of the year, you know it's fair because you billed each other. Because I know for a long time the school didn't bill, and then they started to bill, and initially it was like, well, how come? But I think they were actually right in starting to bill us. And then, but the other side of the coin is, we should be billing them also. And, you know, what's fair for one's fair for the other, and we have two different tax bases. They're almost identical, but the school also has property in the town of Hammond, town of Theresa, town of Lafargeville, whereas our tax base is strictly just town of Alexandria. So to be fair to the two tax bases involved also, it would seem like, I think it's a great idea. I think we should bill for it, same as they bill us for the gym, and I believe the use of the fields or whatever.
I don't know, just Jerry brought this up, and I'm just putting it out for discussion.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, either going the route that you just got done mentioning, or some kind of MOA, memorandum of agreement, where we don't charge each other, but we kind of outline what we're willing to provide to each other. I mean, I don't know,
I think we should bill. I mean, they've been billing us, and I think it's fair, because if we get into a memorandum of understanding, and then it gets real fuzzy as far as how much you use, and somebody starts using a lot more than the other partner in the deal thinks they're being taken advantage of, I think we should just charge.
Yeah, no,
but I think the bigger question is, how much do we charge?
Right. Well, that was the other thing, you know, right now we're charging, I mean, like, what are we doing, like $100 an hour, how much we charge an hour?
105.
105. You know, even that, I'm kind of like, you know, that seems like an awfully high number.
Right. Well, the thing is, to me, the key is, if they are going to rent ice that normally would sit vacant,
Right.
because I remember when my middle son went to school in Boston, they practiced late at night because that was the cheapest ice. So what the price of the ice was not the same from the early morning to late at night. Prime time was like, say, 105, and if you were renting a time that would normally sit vacant, which is what you've described,
Right.
then you have a special price for it.
It's kinda like TV, you know, advertising during prime time hours.
Yeah, it costs you
is
more,
higher
yeah,
than
yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, say.
But I would think if it was, I mean, really, you got the cost of the lights. I know when nobody's on the ice, the lights are off. So I'm just trying to think of what our extra costs are involved.
Do you think this should be discussed with them, so they know it's coming?
Well, that's what I was gonna
Be in
say.
agreement, everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd go along with that,
Yeah.
as long as everybody's just done.
But is everybody in agreement that it should be a lower amount? I mean, I'm thinking if we can cover our costs while they're there,
Yep.
we're ahead of the
Why we're
game.
doing it, we get hammered because the rink runs in red all the while, and we'll let them know that, you know, we're doing all we can, and this is part of it.
Right.
Well, the way I kinda left it with Jerry is, we would talk about it, and then at whatever we decided, I would talk to him, and one-on-ones, he's more than willing to go talk to Tim Wagner, their athletic director,
Yep.
and work something out. And then come back with us and let us kinda decide what.
I don't want them to think we're doing something gonna hurt the kids. So
No,
know
not,
what's happening.
I think everybody's in agreement as far as the concept. It's a matter of how do we go about billing for it.
Right.
So the only thing is, our next meeting is not until towards the end of January. This is starting up immediately.
Yes.
I think they would like to see.
And I think we need to have, they need to know before they get started, so they're not blindsided. I
Right.
definitely, there's couple of different avenues. I'm looking at the ones for the minor hockey, the 12U and under. Now, it says Alexandria Central School at the top is partnering with them, but then it says it's only for minor hockey players. So, to me, that would mean, that almost would indicate that minor hockey should be
Yeah.
should be paying. I definitely, you know, so that for me is confusing, is why is Alexandria Central, you know what I mean, with minor hockey, so that all is muddy area for me, which, I don't care how it happens, I'm glad to see it happening. I do think it should be charged, and I think even because we have in our budget, and I know last year, we ended up reducing it because we said that playgrounds or something wasn't used very often. And I think we need to paint a clearer picture for the taxpayer, because we always say, we lose money. And instead of saying the ice arena lost X amount of money because it was poorly managed or for whatever reason, show that even if we pay ourselves, just like we do with Jamie's pay, you know, he's not always to the sewer district, sometimes he works there. Well, sometimes we have open skate for the children of our community, and that should come out of our children money, because
I see what you mean.
we have a budget item for our youth in this community, which I think everyone would agree is very important. And we should be using some of that money to offset the cost
Yep.
of the rink. And obviously at a lower rate, and, you know, try to do it during off times. I mean, I remember when our kids were little, they had the Moms and Tots program where you could take your real little ones at 10 o'clock in the morning. And Doris Langloy used to be there, and, you know, she would help us. And I remember when Ralph, man, I took a header with him one day, and it was like, I can't do this, I don't know enough about skating, it's gonna kill me. But she was there and she helped the kids. You know, so if you had more experienced people, but you don't charge them for donating, but the ice is being used by the public. And I think that should come out of our youth budget. And like I say,
Yeah,
at
to
a
be fair to
small-
the rink.
Right,
as far as
and
the cost there.
at a smaller rate, to cover expenses. What does it cost? You know, take your electric bill and divide it by however many hours are in a month. And so each, you know, it's a guess, but each hour it costs $20 in electricity. You know, you gotta have a person there, so an hour of wage. Well, that's something small, but reasonable. I don't know, that's my 2 cents.
I hadn't thought about the budget approach like you're talking about. That makes it like a
Makes a lot of
budget
sense.
transfer for
Yeah.
something, you know, I like that a lot, that makes a lot of sense.
Because we sat here and we said that we didn't spend any money for the youth last year, but how much open free skate did we have for the kids?
So in effect, we did.
So, we did, but so many people look at just the line items, and, well, what are they doing? And if we could show that, yeah, we do have, instead, they just say, oh, they should have never opened the rink because they're just losing money. There are, I mean, I think you showed last time that there are quite a few different people in there using it.
Well, it's giving you, I need to back up a little bit too, you know, rinks they're expensive to run. And so, you know, to say it was previously mismanaged, there may have been some stuff, but it's just an expensive thing.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, I need one more thing or two things before I forget is, they're getting more and more of this, the school is bringing kids across the street, which is great, which is, you know, that ice is there, let's just use it. And with, you know, with Jerry, you know, to kind of speed things up, you know, you get kind of idea, as a lot of times gone by, you kind of gets a feel for how many kids and what sizes, because the way this COVID business goes, you can't go into a lot of places, you can't go in the bathrooms, you can't go here, it's gotta be all in the open, so he takes all the skates and he lines them all up. And then, whether, you know, like if you go like a bowling alley, they have the shoe size right on the shoe,
Yep.
kind of, I don't know if you just got some white out or something like that, got the shoe size right on this, which is pretty clever. In virtually every case, we've had enough skates of enough different sizes to accommodate all the kids. Occasionally, though, that doesn't happen. And a lot, you know, because I was asking him yesterday about this, I thought like kids would be like planning ahead and bringing skates to school. Not every kid has got a skate. So, that's why it kind of made me think, because I know like, my oldest daughter played minor hockey, so I had hockey skates, but they both my daughters, before that, were figure skating. So I had little skates all the way to bigger skates, and then as time went by, they outgrew them, and I just had them hanging in my garage. And then coworkers, when their kids got to be a certain age, and they kind of say, hey, I got a pair of skates that'll fit you, so I gave them all away over time. I like to reach out to the community, you know, I imagine there's quite a few skates out there that not being used. It'd be nice if they donated them, helmets, anything like that.
Maybe Jerry could put something on the sign on the outside of the rink. Just,
I mean, we've got quite a few, but more is better.
Yeah.
More, a larger number of sizes, you know, even like some adult sizes, that kind of stuff.
Well, how about, I think what we need to do is come up with a rate. And I think it needs to be predicated on the rate is if the ice is being used for anyone attending the school. The school. If it's restricted to members of an organization, that organization's rate would prevail. So say like minor hockey, because what I'm thinking is like $50 an hour to take care of one person plus electricity.
That sounds very reasonable.
And then, but if it was going to be constricted to just the high school hockey, it would be $105. So what we're talking about, the concept, the concept that I'm understanding is off prime time hours.
Right.
Strictly the entire school district, open to everybody that goes to school at Alexandria Central.
Right. Yep.
And with those two criteria, I'm fine with $50 an hour. How's everybody else feel?
No, yep.
Brent's talking in your ear.
No, I still got it, but, no, I talked to Jerry about that, no, it hasn't started yet, but, Brent said that he got onto the budgets and stuff like that, and the electricity during the course of the winter works out to around $6 or $7 an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
But then you got staff and other expenses and stuff like that, so 50 is.
I think 50 is very reasonable.
No, that's good, that's good.
More than we're getting now.
Right.
But the ice is sitting there, and it's sitting, and it's obviously not being used for major portions of the day, and this is a use, and would be like this, you know, if Jerry went across, you know, and I don't know if the town board wanna do this, or I don't know what the heck, but, in that kind of conversation with the school, they may wanna start like one of their intramural or a regular part of their gym
Well,
program.
this would cover that.
Right, but
So I
I'm just
guess,
saying,
what
but
I-
this is-
what
I
I'm
would like to
look-
expand on
Right.
this.
What I'm looking for is a motion to, approve establishing a $50 an hour rate for Alexandria Central School based on off prime time hours.
This wouldn't be anything, that it wouldn't be high school boys or girls hockey
Well,
games
it
or
was-
practices.
It would still be, well, $50 an hour, Alexandria Central school-wide use.
Youth use.
But,
Yeah,
yeah, but not to be confused with high school hockey.
right. Well, it'd be explicit that if it's school-wide, it can't be restricted. If it's restricted, then the organization that it's restricted to, their rate comes into play.
But I'm just saying, I'm gonna say, look, that it's, high school hockey, we should be paying $50 instead of 105, that's all I'm saying.
No, this is specific to, if high school hockey wants to have their practice at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
They can talk to us.
Okay,
You know?
okay, sure.
So I'm looking for a motion to approve $50 an hour for ACS school-wide use and the off prime time hours.
I would make that
Make
one. And we're gonna direct Jerry to,
To talk to them, yeah, to do the arrangements. Anybody wanna second that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, second, discussion.
Okay, the only thing I'm worried about in that wording is like this flyer says it's a learn to skate program, and learn to skate, you can't have pre-Ks and high schoolers who are just learning to skate for the full time. So I'm worried about that, the whole school, because they're doing, pre-K to second grade and then third to sixth. So it's opening it up to everyone within those dimensions, which
yeah.
I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, I meant, when I said school-wide, I meant it's not restricted to like an organization, like you mentioned minor hockey,
Okay.
and that's a concern.
Okay,
that must have
There
come
could
from
be
the school.
segments of the school.
And the school set up, say, an hour of learn to skate, so they're dictating who can be on the ice.
Right. So it's like, say, pre-K, school-wide.
right, okay.
You know,
okay.
elementary,
Just so long
school-wide.
as there's,
Yeah,
but
yeah, because you're right.
I'm good with it,
Seniors and kindergartners shouldn't be on the ice together.
exactly.
Yeah. Any other discussion in regard to the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay. Sandy, have you gotten any calls or, because this was the public comment portion of the meeting?
No, there's no email.
Has Brent received any text messages or?
Brent, have you?
Okay, we'll open it back up at the very end, so. Okay, on to our agenda, discussion about transferring F-350 DPW truck with dump box to Highway Department. And then we've got, which we might as well talk about at the same time, discussion about replacing DPW/water truck. I've seen like 4 prices, and, Jamie, you can explain here. There's a state bid price, okay? And then so we've got prices based on state bid, which is, there's a time frame involved. And then we got prices on vehicles that are sitting on car dealers' lots.
Yes.
And from what I saw, there's a difference of about 10%, $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is when you order them, the wait time, you know,
Yep.
your Chevys are 3 months to 4 months before you can.
Yeah, I saw it was written on each one of those quotes
Right.
there. So I guess my question is, so we're talking about not going with the state bid, which to me means we have an emergency on our hands, and because we have an emergency on our hands, we're gonna spend $3,000 or $4,000 more than if we'd gone through the normal process of ordering it and taking delivery.
Yeah.
So what I wanna get comfortable with, what is the emergency that we have?
You'd have to talk
Sure.
about
As far as my department, there is no emergency.
Yeah, the
I mean,
highway,
the highway.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
what
we're
is
doing it
the,
for the highway.
so, because what, the impression I'm getting is, we have a need at the highway on an emergency basis, like what I heard, a tree goes down, they need a vehicle to put chainsaws in, things like that, be able to pull a chipper and things like that, so that happens occasionally. The vehicle we're talking about going to the highway department,
We use for plowing and sanding right now, for the clerk's office, transfer site, drainage, pump station, sewer plant.
right, which is used periodically
Yes.
based on snowstorms.
Right.
So what we're talking about is one vehicle that is gonna usually sit most of the time. I mean, if we don't have any bad windstorms, the highway department's not even gonna need it.
Right.
And my understanding is the highway department's need of it is only in the wintertime, because in the summertime, they take the plows off and all that, so they have other vehicles that they can use. So, what would I mean, if the highway department had a key, and the rink had a key, so they had access, and we parked it at the rink where it is, and if the highway department had an emergency where a tree went down, can't they come with their key to the rink, grab the truck, go pick up the chipper? I mean, I'm not against ordering a truck, I'm just, if we're gonna spend an extra $3,000 or $4,000, I'm thinking we can order a truck on the state bid, which would be the normal way to do it, and get the truck. In the meantime, go ahead.
No, I'm with you 100%, but the situation we're in now, the truck has a hopper in it to put down sand.
Okay,
They don't want a truck with a hopper in it. So if they came over here, even if they had a key, they'd have to take the hopper off, you know, so that they could use the truck as a truck.
okay,
So, I'm just saying, there's a logistical issue here as well.
okay, so.
So I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah, so let me, I know how to the quick disconnect plows, I don't know about a hopper. Does a hopper come out of a truck fairly easily, or is it?
It takes an hour or so. I mean,
Well, that's not a good
before-
situation then.
Right.
I got a question, why does the highway superintendent have a pickup?
Excuse me?
Why does the highway superintendent have a pickup?
Right, we talked about that also,
I mean,
because if we're talking about emergency use,
Here we go,
right,
you're talking 3 or 4 months, thousands of dollars.
right. I don't have a problem buying a truck, I've got a problem buying a truck on an emergency basis when I don't see the emergency, when we've got other assets that could be used.
One thing.
One of which could be, for this winter anyway, could be a highway
I mean,
superintendent.
Mike is usually there when there's a problem,
Right,
so throw the chainsaws in, let's go.
yeah, or one of the guys could come and grab his truck,
Well,
go use it. My issue is not going with the state bid, that's my issue, based on an emergency. If we've got a true emergency, I don't have a problem spending the extra $3,000 or $4,000, but I'm not comfortable that we have a true emergency.
all of a sudden.
Now, when you say this, yep. That, yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, that makes sense too. This is Brent, and he kinda concurs with what you're saying, but what also exists is the former highway superintendent's pickup truck is now the rink truck. Got a plow on, it's a pickup truck, and it also sits there. Why don't we make that available, the whole, you know, they get a key, we got a, you know, these guys got a key. and
Where's
we-
that truck located?
It's at the rink. And these guys hang on to the 1 ton with the hopper in it.
Okay, I thought the one we were talking about wasn't the one at the rink.
No.
So it's not the one we were just talking about.
No,
Okay.
it's 2 different vehicles, but that's a good point. If all they need is a pickup truck,
Right,
there's a pickup truck over there,
at the rink.
at the rink.
Okay, well, that's what I was getting at. In
Yeah.
other words, if the rink had a key to it, and the highway department had a key to it, and they needed it at 3 o'clock in the morning because there was a tree down, they can go to the rink. They've got a key, they get in the truck, go grab their chainsaws.
And it
chipper.
doesn't have a hopper in the back, nothing, it's just a
Right.
truck, just a pickup truck.
Why does the rink just have a pickup truck?
Cause
He uses it for, the biggest thing is when he shaves the ice, the snow, he's gotta push it out of the way, cause if you let it set there, it'll just freeze right into a great big ball.
But I thought there's a plow truck with a hopper.
There, at one that we plow in,
Now, where's that part? That's part of
that's at the sewer plant.
okay,
Okay, now the other thing too is that the rink, correct me if I'm wrong, the rink pickup truck is also used by the DPW for other things in the
In
summertime.
the summertime, it tows the
It tows
trailers, the
the-
mowers and all that.
Right, so that's what it's used for most of the year. That's why they have it.
so, this is getting off the subject a little bit, but I was,
Right.
there's a
Right,
vehicle.
I agree.
There's a vehicle that we have that's just about dead, and I think it's the one that you drive or something?
It's got 203,000 miles on it. I mean,
How long, this delay in getting a replacement truck, is that carved in stone, or is that just like this months-long thing?
It's not carved in stone, I mean, that's just what they told me, I mean, like with your Chevy, if you don't order a Chevy by the end of this year, by the 31st, they start retooling, and you won't see a truck till October.
Okay, so
But
the
with
sooner we...
Ford, they retool at a different time.
I'm
Okay, well, after
I'm
hearing,
jumping to the chase here.
Okay.
I'm in favor of, let's order a state truck and get the best possible price.
Right.
But let's make the rink pickup truck available for the highway department should they need it.
yes, I'm fine with that.
I wish you guys would've decided this before I went and begged and, you know, like Cascanettes, they won't even return my phone calls. For 3 years, I've gone to them and got prices, and then it doesn't happen.
Oh.
I'm just,
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
if they don't return your phone call,
Go
it's
ahead.
one less
well, I'm
number
just
you gotta
saying,
hit.
I mean, just,
I think we have an obligation, that state bid is there for a purpose.
I mean,
And we've got an obligation, and
Yep.
shy of an emergency.
Right.
And if we've got two vehicles, one at the sewer plant, one at the rink, that are sitting most of the time
I
in the
mean-
winter,
everything on the DPW side going good. I mean,
Yep,
what threw a
yep.
wrench into this was Mike needing a truck.
But,
okay.
So,
And we have a truck sitting at the rink, and if we get an extra key to it, to the highway department, there's their pickup truck. Okay, so to me, the need we have is to replace your truck,
right.
and that's what, three-quarter ton, 1 ton?
Well,
see that,
we have to
it's a half
decide what
ton,
we
but
wanna
that was
do.
another thing that we kind of, that got brought up, is we also have this, wheat harvester
Yep,
that needs to have at least a 3/4 ton truck, I think, to pull it.
yeah,
And so, we should have the ability to do that.
yeah, I can't see the town buying a half-ton pickup truck. It seemed like the use that we have from time to time, you wanna have a little more capability.
Yeah.
So 3/4 ton would be the least.
Yep.
And those,
the benefit is the gas mileage. I mean, you go from a
Yeah.
half ton to a 3/4 ton, you cut your gas mileage in half,
okay,
you know, so. It's whatever you guys wanna do.
Yeah, I think we should stop kicking. Okay, hang on. Brent wants to say something here. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, because you've been going through my hearing aids here. Okay, okay, so,
okay. Yep.
yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Okay, talking about the emergencies and doing the deal with the rink, the truck at the rink. In my conversations with Mike, it's not just about emergencies and going to get a tree down that's across the road or whatever. It's a lot of it is everyday use. That he doesn't want to have to send his men in a plow truck with a sander in the back to go to Napa and get parts, to go to Watertown and get parts, and to go to the different places that they have to go to do things. So there's a lot more regular use that Mike needs a vehicle for than just the emergency situation. But we could still take care of it by taking the 1-ton dump with the sander in it and taking that to the rink and letting Jerry use that to plow the snowbank at the rink from the Zamboni and whatever else. Jamie and Jay have access to that truck via a key or via Jerry, and go get that truck when they need to sand the town properties, the town office, and the transfer site, and so on and so forth. And this would still allow us to order a truck at state bid and wait the estimated on those quotes that we got, I saw an estimated wait between 4 months and 10 months, right, Jamie?
That's on the Chevy,
4 and 6, wasn't it?
for the,
One of them was 10.
Yeah.
the Ford,
So whatever, it's extended period
8
of
to
time.
10 weeks is the
No.
Ford.
8 to 10 weeks.
Months,
He
right?
said
No,
months.
weeks.
Weeks. It's weeks, Brent, 10 weeks, not 10 months.
Okay.
But whatever.
But the
I'm-
Chevy's October, like, you know, within 2 months.
You know, the,
Which the Ford was a better, lower price on,
so, I mean, let's do it, let's just do it.
The Ford was a lower price and sooner?
yes.
Okay. So really what we're looking at is what Brent said, moving those 2 trucks, or actually moving the 1 truck to the rink and then the other truck to the highway department. And then ordering a 3/4 ton on the state bid, which would be the Ford. What's everybody's thoughts?
That makes more sense. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. We obviously have not budgeted for this at all. How are we gonna pay for it?
Okay, I thought somebody said something about it was budgeted.
No, I don't think so.
For 21?
No, 20, it
No, it wasn't.
wasn't, okay.
But we do have 33,000 left in contingency and 5,000 in DPW equipment. That's
For
the
this
2.
year?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I mean, there's
Okay.
only 1 more day left in this
Yeah,
year, so
yeah, we
it's
do.
not hypothetical, we know what we've got left now.
yeah.
Okay.
So we could do a motion today to move out of contingency and into equipment, to have enough to be able to authorize the purchase, and you could encumber that,
Yeah,
and, okay.
What was the pickup price on the state bid?
29.
29,
Okay, so we,
or something.
okay, so we have enough money to cover it.
Right,
Okay.
yep, okay. So is everybody comfortable going that direction? Okay, so it's a matter of moving the fund, what we can do is we can make a motion to move the funds first, before then we have the ability to have a motion to spend the funds on that. So, if we move 30,000 out of contingency, and what account line item would you put it into? Equipment, or where would you normally buy a truck out of? What's that?
DPW equipment.
Okay,
I mean,
and
you
you
said
said there's
already
5 in there
five there.
already?
Yeah, so we only need to transfer 25,000.
25? That would be enough?
Yeah.
Okay,
If it's 30,
well, it's 29 something, right?
Is there anything else we need to do to this truck?
Well, you're gonna need to put, plow mounts on it,
Okay.
then we have to decide what we're gonna do about a sander.
you can't put the sander that's on,
I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't either, you know, I
Well,
mean,
first things first, the carrying capacity of that sander is way beyond what you guys use, way beyond.
yes, yeah,
Even now, you never fill it.
yeah, you can put I think it's a 2-yard sander.
Well, let's look at it this way. The sander is an issue, but that doesn't need to be solved today.
No, I'm just saying the money wise,
Right, but that doesn't need to be solved today
No,
either.
that's true.
Because we'll have a contingency for 2021.
okay,
Yeah.
so whatever money doesn't get spent,
Is gonna be, goes into the fund balance.
okay,
So what we don't spend today will still be available,
Okay.
so to
Okay.
speak. So, would anyone like to make a motion to transfer $25,000 from our contingency account into, is it highway equipment, or what's the account? Nicole?
DPW equipment.
DPW equipment,
now that's
okay?
gonna be more than enough to cover.
There's 5 in there already,
Five
this will bring it
there.
up to 30, which will be enough to do the 29 and change.
Okay, I just don't wanna cut ourselves short.
Now, where's you guys gonna transfer, 'cause with Mike getting this truck,
Well, that's another issue though,
That's not cash, so we can't.
that's another issue.
Right, we'll start with this one for,
Yeah.
I know where you're heading with that. Okay, so would anyone like to make that motion to transfer the 25,000?
I'd like to make it 26, just to give ourselves a little more wiggle room.
26 is fine.
Okay.
What's not spent is gonna still be
Right,
there. Yeah.
exactly. I
Okay.
just don't wanna.
So
give up
26?
short.
Okay, Mike's making a motion, to transfer 26 from the contingency into the equipment account. Would anyone like to second that motion?
I'll second that one.
John second the motion. Further discussion in regard to the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay? Next, we need a motion to approve purchasing on state bid, the 250, is it? And the, by the bid, and what company was it from?
Blevins,
Blevins?
Florida, Governor.
Governor, okay. Would anyone like to make that motion?
We order a truck from Blevins, an F-250 Ford, replace the water
Slash DPW.
DPW truck, yes.
Would anyone like to make that motion?
I think you just did.
Yeah,
You did?
I made the
Okay,
motion.
very good.
For a second.
Okay, we need a second.
I'll second.
Second, John. Discussion in regard to the motion.
What does Caprera's have? They're right here local. Is there a reason we're not using them?
Well, I never asked them to bid out a truck, cause they had this one on, right on the lot, you know.
The state truck is on the lot at Blevins?
No, that's why we've
No, we
gotta
have to
wait,
order it.
like, number of weeks or whatever. My understanding is the state bid, no matter where you get it, it has to be ordered. Is that true?
Yeah, because the trucks are in such demand right now, I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get somebody even offer to give us a truck. I mean, Caprera did it just because he wanted to get our business.
Right, but it was a vehicle on the lot,
Yeah.
and it's gonna cost us $3,000 or $4,000 more than by going the state bid. Right. Now, does Caprera ever sell trucks at the state bid?
I don't know if Chryslers or Dodges are on the state bid list or not.
I believe
can
so.
ask.
Yeah.
Hammond has a Dodge.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can, I would prefer to do business with a local taxpayer business.
I think everybody's in agreement with that. I guess it's a matter of if the state bid, I mean, do all dealerships participate in the state bid? I guess that's the question.
Well, I know they just opened up a new Ford dealership and of course that's in Ogdensburg, but.
Well, how about when we make this motion, not limiting it to, say, Blevins and Governor? Yeah, a maximum of $26,000 state bid pickup truck, F-250.
26,000 is
No,
29.
it was
29,000.
26 was the transfer.
Okay, but I'm, okay, right, okay, I thought now we're going forward with that, yeah.
If we
Okay,
can do that, I'm
Three-quarter
all
ton
for it.
pickup,
I'd rather deal local.
Me too.
Yeah,
I thought we were tied to Blevins because of the state bid, because we already, you know,
yeah.
but I'd rather deal with Caprera if we can. As Brent says, they pay taxes right here.
the state price should be the same price no matter where, right?
Is that the way
Yes,
it
it
works?
should be, it's just a matter of what manufacturer is offering the state bid and what manufacturer the local people handle.
Okay,
We want the,
so we have a motion and a second, I believe.
Any second to the discussion.
Right, and now what we need to do is either vote it down or retract it.
okay, well, I'll pull it back and let's remove the dealership.
I'm not sure, I'll just be honest with you, as far as Robert's Rules of Order, I'm not 100% on. It's easier just to vote it down.
Yes, it is.
So,
Okay.
okay, so all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All opposed signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, vote, 4 against. We need another motion. A motion to approve, spending a maximum of $30,000. Obviously, I think it's gonna be
On a
29. A
three-quarter
maximum
ton
of $30,000 on a 3/4 ton state bid pickup truck,
locally.
okay?
Well, you don't even have to have local.
can't
in
say
it. We're
local.
gonna try to say
That's the
local.
intent, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because if he's unable or unwilling to do it,
Right,
then
we can
obviously
still
go somewhere
go,
else.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Can this be done this late in the year, back and forth?
Well, you'll find out today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, do we have to have another meeting?
Well, no, but that's why we're gonna do the motion authorizing the purchase of, and then as long as he can get the truck under $30,000, he
But if he
can,
can't, then where do we go?
well, he can though, cause Blevins is already willing to do it,
All right, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
so that'd be the fallback, yeah. Anyone like to make that motion?
Okay, I will make that motion.
That motion, okay, second to that motion,
I'll second it.
Okay, Sandy, discussion in regard to the motion. So it's a blanket max of 30, okay, straightforward.
Jamie Papin will initiate that today.
I will,
Okay, well, we gotta vote on it first.
I know, but I'm just saying that's a discussion.
Yeah, any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Okay. Okay, so, Jamie, you've got a max of 30,000, you can talk to the local dealerships and see what can we do.
the only, I mean, with like the plow mounts, I might be able to get them under state bid too, which would be cheaper than the 1,800.
Oh,
Well,
there's
there's-
a little bit of wiggle room.
Well, put it this way, we're putting 26 in, there's 5 there, there's 31 actually in the account, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think those plow mounts are gonna be? Less than 2,
No more than 1,800.
okay, so it'd be right about the ballpark there, be real close. Depending on that other one comes in, because,
Yeah, we're at
That's
the,
real close,
close.
that's
Yeah.
real close.
yeah,
$200 worth.
there, good as a mile, okay.
what's on the rink pickup truck? Could you transfer that?
Well, let's get to the, now, so we've purchased the truck now.
Yeah.
Now the question is as far as what Brent talked about, which is physically moving the truck that's presently at the rink to the highway department, and physically moving the truck that's at the sewer plant to the rink. This is for the winter.
Correct.
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted the, yeah, alright.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted the 1 ton at the highway.
No, we're talking about,
Cause the one with the sander on the back's going to the rink. The one without the sander on it is going to the highway department. Now, the one that's at the rink now that does not have a sander on it, that's a 3/4 ton, is it, or?
Yes.
Okay, so big enough?
I have a question, Ron.
Yep,
My question is these movements that we're talking about, these trucks, I'm thinking that they should be temporary because the end result is for the highway department to get the F-350 1-ton dump with plow, to the highway department for future years and future use.
why?
Especially during the winter when they have the problem that they've got the sanders in all their other trucks. And that would allow that rink pickup truck with the 8-foot box and no sander to go back to the rink. Because they tow the boat that we have, they tow the equipment trailer with our lawnmowers, they tow everything with that.
is that something we need to do today?
No, but you're talking about movement of that truck, and I'm just thinking about movement of that truck. You might want to clarify it, that's temporary.
Temporary?
For the
Okay.
winter, to get through this situation.
Okay. So,
That's the only reason I brought that up.
okay,
So is he saying Jamie's truck that he's driving right now, when the new truck comes in, will go to the,
where does it?
No,
the-
no,
That should go right on auction
yeah,
and
that's,
okay.
Your old truck, you mean,
yes.
right?
yeah, that's.
Or Kimco Steel,
I
one
don't
of the
even know
two.
what's keeping it going. I mean, I'm just waiting for.
That should go the same place as the highway barns truck that's disabled also.
Okay,
It's unheard of with a truck going 200,000 mile transmission going, so.
right. Okay, so as far as the movement of the trucks, do we need that, it'd probably be a good idea to put that in motion form, just so there's no misunderstanding a month from now, or a week from now, or whatever. So would anyone like to make a motion to have the truck that's presently at the rink temporarily go to the highway department, and the truck that is presently at the sewer plant temporarily go to the rink? Everybody in agreement with
Basically, they're
that?
on loan,
Now
right?
we're, that's, I
They're
thought
going
that's
to be
what
on
we were.
loan.
Temporarily, but that's why I
On
say
loan.
temporary, on loan, okay. We'll say on loan then.
Just to
instead
make
of
sure we
temporary.
don't, charge the wrong cost center and.
Okay,
Yeah, we're not gonna do any of that now.
Yeah.
and what now?
When it becomes permanent, then we'll do the.
Well, that's what I'm saying, do we
Stuff.
say temporary or on loan? To me, temporary, I mean,
I'm
we
saying, oh, you know,
can say
that's
it's on loan to the.
Yeah, okay, as long as it's not. Right.
So Brent, the truck that's at the rink right now, that's a DPW truck, is it?
All of them are, yeah.
Y'all are, okay. So we're talking about, so we need a motion to temporarily loan the 3/4 ton truck that's at the rink to the highway department, and temporarily loan the 1 ton truck with a sander and plow at the sewer plant to the rink.
I really don't know, need to do the second part.
Second part's not
It's
needed
all
because it's in the
all
same
DPW,
department.
yeah.
Okay, so let's clean it up. All we need is, we need a motion to temporarily loan the 3/4 ton truck presently at the rink to the highway department.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Sandy, second by John, discussion. Okay, and that can happen at any time then, right? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none, okay? Okay. Now, as far as now that we've done that, when the new truck comes in, where does it go?
It goes to Jamie Pavement, replaces, it's number 3.
DPW.
Okay, okay. That's number 2 then, right?
Now, the number 3 is discussion about replacing the DPW water truck.
I've
Oh,
got
2, you're right.
Budget transfers
Okay.
online.
Okay, I was gonna say, so we got 2 different agendas here.
No, that's okay.
Okay. So, okay, so everybody's okay with that?
I'm just gonna be the devil's advocate. Should it be going to, should the brand new truck be going to Jamie, or should the brand new truck be going to the highway supervisor and then the highway supervisor's truck going down? Or do we not do that because they're 2 different departments? I'm just asking the question,
It's,
cause I know Mike asked for a truck a year ago, and I think he even asked for it this year,
Well,
when
the
we
money
put
was-
him off.
the money we're talking about is coming from the DPW, not from the highway.
So if Mike's got money to buy a truck, that'd be a discussion we'd have with Mike and his budget. So
Okay,
we're using budgeted DPW funds for a DPW truck.
okay.
Because Jamie's been put off for a couple of years too.
Well, 200,000, it's not like we didn't get a good use out of that
Yeah.
vehicle, so. I think, you got a valid point, but I think it's another discussion with a different budget. When this one comes in, it might not be a bad idea to have that discussion at our next meeting, maybe,
Right.
yeah.
Just because, I mean, it really wasn't budgeted in DPW money either, we took it out of contingency
Contingency,
money.
but it was DPW contingency money though,
So
wasn't
it's
it?
all right. It's
Not
not,
DPW contingency,
No.
just
highways is DA and
General.
DB, this is not. This is general fund.
Okay, but isn't
Yeah.
DPW in general A?
yes.
Okay,
That's,
so,
that's the issue, really.
okay,
Right.
but I guess, so it came out of contingency fund, general fund A,
Right.
it stayed in there, so. Whereas the other would be either DA or DB, how's that work with?
DA is
DA is
highway equipment, yeah.
equipment?
How much money do they have?
What's that?
I said, how much money do they have? How is their budget going into the end of the year?
They've used all their budget.
Okay.
Okay,
They have no contingency?
There's no contingency in DA.
well, we only got 2 days left,
Okay, but I'm just saying.
day and a half, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so number 3, budget transfers. Okay, everyone's got their sheet in front of you?
Yep.
Okay, general A, some of these are abbreviated, I'm gonna do my best to guess what it says. Is that state revenue sharing per capita?
Yeah,
Okay, 14,765, and then AIM related payments, same amount, it was a credit to reclassify revenue sharing to prior year account name.
you want me to explain that?
Please do.
Okay, last year when, we got a letter from the state saying that the state revenue sharing now had a new name, and that was gonna be AIM-related payments. So, when we did the budget, I changed it to AIM-related payments, but then when we actually did our budget for 2021, and our guy that helps us with the budget didn't understand where that came from. So he called Laird Petrie
Yep.
from the state and got clarification as to where this belongs, and it belongs in the state revenue sharing. So, I'm just putting it back where it used to be,
Okay,
alright? You want me to go ahead with the next one?
yeah, you'd like to read them, that would probably save it.
Okay. The legislative board contractual went over by $40, and I just took it out of the supervisor equipment, fund.
Okay,
Clerk to supervisor, personal services, when the budget was set up for 2020, at that time, I didn't realize that 2020 was one of those years where there was 27 paychecks instead of 26, and not enough money was allotted to her wages. But I was able to take it out of her contractual expense, and so everything basically stayed the same for her. There's $2,500 for the demolition of the unsafe buildings. That was to cover the lot and structure fire damage. And, I took it out of engineering fees.
okay,
And this will eventually go on to the owner's tax bill.
so we'll get that money back.
Yeah,
Did that go on this year's tax bill? Cause
It didn't.
it should be going on their 2021 tax
It-
bill,
it didn't. Brent is looking into that right now, and he's already spoken with Jefferson County this morning, and they're sending him some paperwork to fill out.
okay, so we lost a whole
Okay,
other year on that.
that's number 5 on the agenda.
Yeah. So the next one is garage contractual expense, went over by $1,225, and I just reduced the heating fuel by the same amount, so we're just covering expenses within its own fund.
Now, that was the garage other, went over budget?
Yeah,
What does garage other actually
it's
cover?
just contractual, it's,
Cause when I think of a contract, I mean, that's something that shouldn't go over
not a
budget, 'cause
contract, it's just called contractual, it's all the other expenses, say they gotta repair, you know, some light fixtures or,
when it says garage, because this
that's
is
the
in
town barn.
so the town barn is not just in DA and DB, it's
No.
also in general A.
It's not in DA, it's in A.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no town barn in DA.
okay.
No, it's,
Just like the highway
I
superintendent.
know, but a lot of times in
May.
discussion, we think the cost of the highway
Yeah.
department is in DA and DB, but that's not really
It's
true.
not, yeah.
Well,
It's also in A.
It's hard to understand, I don't
Right.
understand.
I'm just saying it for anybody that's listening,
Right.
because I'm getting educated and I wanna share that.
Yeah.
like the town barn is just considered a town building, like this building.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like the electricity
Yeah,
is in general A as well, right?
yeah,
Okay, and heating that building.
Yeah.
And so it's just another
Yeah.
town building.
yeah,
Okay,
I don't agree with it either, but that's what I remember.
yeah.
okay,
So, the next one, a recreation, this is, arena. The part-time personal services went over by $1,050. I just took it out of the full-time.
okay,
Personal
there's
service.
enough money there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Brent, you might wanna mute your phone until you wanna talk.
What's that?
You might wanna mute your phone until you wanna talk.
Why, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Or I can put it back on my hearing aid.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
The next one, recreation equipment, I can't remember what, I think it was work done to a new pump for the getting the ice ready, they had to buy a new.
Oh, yeah, no, they had, the compressor, that was an
compress-
issue.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that got put under equipment, and I took it out of electric, cause there was room for it there.
Okay,
The next one, personal services at the transfer site, went over, you gotta keep in mind that this year, the brush pit, personal services got added to the refuse and garbage account. So, that, along with, the decision, that was agreed upon earlier by all board members, that because our transfer site manager was unable to take his vacation, because of the inability to keep anyone working part-time.
is
at
that
the-
number 6 on our agenda?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, So we might as well talk about that right now, because
Go ahead.
once we approve these transfers, we're basically
Yep,
already made a decision on number 6.
okay.
So,
Kind of the same thing with number 5 as well.
yeah. I look at number 5 as more of a informational, deal, whereas number 6 is an actual motion.
Yep.
So if we start with, number 6 there, so the transfer site manager, we've talked, to me, it's like, it's gonna be the same amount of money, because if we hire somebody to go up there and take his place while he's on vacation, we're gonna be paying that person that's taking his place, plus him on his vacation. So we're gonna have cost of 2 people, basically. So if we pay him for his vacation, and he's up there working, we're paying for 2 people, basically. So it's not gonna cost us anything more to do this, and it's not his fault.
It's our fault, really.
Right. So would anyone like to make a motion to pay the transfer site employee vacation pay due to special circumstances?
I'll make that
Okay.
motion.
Yes.
Okay, Sandy, second by John. Any discussion in regard to that motion?
Do you have any discussion, Brent?
I'd just like to make sure everybody understands that it's a special circumstance, and when we move highway barn people, or Jay or Jamie or somebody up there to temporarily fill in, their wages are more than the wages that Byron gets paid, so it's also a cost-saving measure too.
Okay.
Well, then too, like, I would like to, as far as discussion goes, this is a special circumstance for,
And we're not setting a precedent.
right, this
Yeah,
is exactly
that's why the motion
this
says
specific
special
thing.
circumstances, very
this
important.
specific.
Yep.
Can I also ask, I wanna make sure it gets clarified, did Byron ever request vacation time that he was denied?
He had planned on taking a vacation, and one of the employees quit, said, I'm not doing this anymore, so then he had to work.
Okay.
Okay.
I know-
Byron was never denied vacation time by me.
Yeah, I didn't mean to imply he was denied vacation time.
But the
He
circumstances,
had planned on it.
yeah, the circumstances involved in the situation that involves Byron is, he didn't get denied, but he was unable,
Yeah.
because there was, if he went on vacation, we'd have to
We
close
didn't have anybody.
the place, you know, or really scramble,
Didn't he sort of volunteer to do it too, didn't he?
Volunteer to not take it?
I think he
Yeah.
said, yeah, I'll come up because.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
I mean, as Brent just described, the other option was at a higher expense actually, so it's actually less.
what we need to do is find somebody
Right.
that's reliable.
I think the key, just like you just said, Mike, takeaway for us as a board is to manage better and to make sure that in the spring of the year, when we hire that part-time person, that before you get too late in the season on those days that, you know, are not as busy, you know, make sure that part-time person is there and encourage Byron to be able to take time off, whether, even if he doesn't take a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time, I don't know how much vacation he gets, but, you know, try to come up with a better plan ahead of time. Because I think, I mean, this year with COVID, I know myself and a lot of my staff, we didn't get our normal vacations this year. This was a very unusual year. And maybe Byron just likes to stay home and doesn't, but that's not up to us to decide whether he wants to take a takeaway vacation or a stay-at-home vacation. That doesn't matter. Time off is very important for everyone, for employees, to get that downtime to just be away. And I know this year a lot of people didn't get that, and this is another example. And as leaders, we need to do better.
The
What was
burden's
the
on us.
situation though? We
Yeah.
thought we had it covered, the guy quit.
Yeah, we took steps to do it.
that was done.
Points in regards
Wasn't
to
our fault.
vacation
That
is
isn't
that
Yep.
Jamie did work a full week for Byron, where Byron got to take a week of vacation time that he wanted, and also the Jake guy, who was our part-time helper up there, worked a couple days of vacation for Byron and also was scheduled to work a full week for Byron. And that week that he was scheduled to work, he quit 2 days before that week started.
So Byron
And I
has
think
gotten
everybody
some.
knows what we've
So
been
that-
going
that
through,
makes me feel better
trying
that
to
he's not
find
stuck.
some help or part-time help for the transfer site through the newspaper and through Indeed. We've had, we've gone round and round and not been successful. Well, yes, we do need to do a better job of managing that situation, but the help situation has not been good.
Right,
But it's more town board than Byron Wagner.
Right.
right, and the
I
good thing
agree-
is
I agree
that he
with that.
has
I
gotten
just-
some time off.
Right, and that makes me feel much better, that at least Jamie was able to cover him for a week, and so, because was it part of this leave time from the year before?
I was gonna say, my
also?
recollection was this was,
Yeah, so-
cumulative.
So, is this indeed catching us up through the end of this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we pay this, he'll be current?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
great,
So,
yep.
all in all, I think it's.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, go ahead, Nicole.
Highway DA, machinery, personal services went over by 4,300, and I just took it out of another personal service line item that was way under budget of snow removal.
Okay.
The next one, Highway DB, health insurance, $14,675. I will say that last year when we did the budget, we didn't take into consideration the $9,000 that we pay to one of our retirees. We pay him $750 a month.
Part of this 14?
That's part of that.
So it was created by a budget problem?
Yep, it was, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot.
Did we remember that this year?
Yes, yeah, I did, we did, yeah.
Okay.
And another, I think one of the persons went from single to family, which created a little bit more of an increase. And the uniforms again is up, I increased it $300, and it all came out of road maintenance, which is within its own fund.
So this uniform.
You've got your mask, gloves, so COVID-19 related?
Okay,
Yes,
okay. It's more than, Shinta's.
yeah,
Right, okay.
it's a lot of masks and stuff.
Yep.
And the last one for Redwood Water, just a couple of minor overages, that were taken care of within its fund. And that's it.
Okay,
On the,
There will be more, because not all of the bills for December are in yet. December's not over with.
well, I just needed, you bring up this Redwood Water, this made me remember this, you guys went over, talked to the town of Theresa.
Yeah.
And they agreed with what we came up with, and the ownership check for like $6,000.
Yeah,
That's gonna
okay.
go into Redwood Water.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's all
We-
paid and taken care of.
Okay, we need a motion to approve these budget transfers. Would anyone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Sandy, second to the motion?
I'll second that.
John, discussion in regard to the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Okay.
I like having, I wanna point out, I like having Nicole here doing that because
I was thinking the same
Yeah.
thing, I was gonna say, it's much nicer when you go line by line and explain each one.
And when we have one at
If you
night,
want
we can just
me
put you on
to
speakerphone, that way you
Either
can be
that, or
home.
I can stay, whatever
Well,
you want.
I mean, I'm not saying Brent does a bad job, but
but
she does a better
Just
job.
do it from home and,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, number 4 on the agenda, union negotiation dates and times.
I've just been asking everybody to put some dates and times together so we can start these negotiations that we've been talking about. So, you wanna communicate via email or however, you wanna do it? And then my other question that I sent to everybody the other day that I hadn't heard is, do we keep the union negotiators as the same too? Is there anybody else that really wants to jump in there and be negotiating? I wanted to make sure I asked that question.
Yeah. So as far as that, is there anyone else that would, like, presently it's Mike and myself, And I think, Mike and I both feel the same way. If somebody really, really wants to be on it, I don't have a problem stepping aside for somebody else. So I guess the question would be, you two guys, if you're interested.
I don't see changing horses middle of the stream.
Okay. Sandy, would you like to be on? Okay. We'll leave it alone then?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna leave it alone then, Brent.
Okay.
Do you want
Just
off
need
mic?
everybody to, answer the email also with the negotiating items that you're gonna start with, because what you start with is what you have to go with.
Right. That's, that can't be stressed enough. You can't add to the negotiating later on. It's negotiating in bad faith. So when we come up with our list of items that we wanna negotiate, it needs to be all inclusive. Right from the start.
And
Okay.
we all have input in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Brent sent around, make a reference to an email with a bunch of different things. I don't know if
Right.
everybody's had an opportunity to see that.
Yeah.
I had 9 items on there, yes.
Okay, we just all need to like check our email and then just either add to it or whatever, yeah. Okay. Levy of lot and cleanup on the property taxes, Brent?
Yeah, I talked to Roxanne Burns' office about the process here, and, we have to levy a bill first. She's gonna get back to me with the information that she needs, from us in order for us to levy a bill. So then we levy that bill. We obviously send that bill, make an attempt at, trying to collect that bill, or make multiple attempts, and document those multiple attempts, and come next year in the fall, if that bill is not paid, then we send the proper paperwork to the county, and that gets added to the taxes for that parcel.
Okay.
And I verified with Shucky, also, I wasn't sure if that was a parcel that was owned by the person that had the trailer, or if it was a rental, as a lot of trailer lots are, but that it was a parcel that was owned by that person that we cleaned up, and it's in that person's name, so we're okay as far as levying a bill on that parcel to the person.
Okay.
That's a $2,500 bill that the town's already paid to have that lot cleaned up, and we're going to enter the same process for the parcel on Route 12 that I've had a tremendous amount of phone calls about, and this should be, make sure this gets put in the minutes and is heard, that we're going to start the same process on that parcel. That's extremely bad sight to see on Route 12 when you come into the town of Alexandria, the village of Alexandria Bay. That process took us, in the Lawton case, I believe that process took us 9 months to a year, so we're gonna start that with this other one. That is the Oliver property on Route 12.
That's the one that, it's bordered on both sides, you got Otter Street on one side and Route 12 on the other?
You're breaking up, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's the one that's on, Otter Street as well, between Otter Street and Route 12?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 parcels down from yours.
Yep, yeah, I've had a number of people, ask me about that, and I took a bunch of pictures. I've been talking to Norris about that for months.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah.
So Jesse, you'll have that in the minutes? Okay. Okay, at this point, we're gonna be getting close to adjourning here, so if anyone in the public has any questions, if they could please either call the telephone numbers on the screen. Actually, it'd be Sandy's, because Brent's on his cell phone.
I have no text messages or calls as of right now. I just checked.
I know we've got about a 15-second delay, so that's why I'm saying it this way, so that by the time somebody hears that. So if they could just please send a text to one of the 2 telephone numbers on the screen. So in the meantime, is there anything else any board members would like to bring up?
I just have, and Nicole, maybe you know this, Jesse. On this new sewer district, that's, Route 12, number 2, the grants, is there 2 grants that we're receiving on this, or just 1?
I don't know.
Did you hear that, Brent?
No, I didn't. I was breaking up. Can I say that again?
Route 12, Route 12 Sewer District number 2.
Yeah.
How many different grants do we have?
question for Rob Campany. I know of three right now, and when she's saying grants, I said three. One of those three is a low interest loan, or I believe it could be a zero interest loan.
That's not a grant.
I just look at the financing things. I know we have the WIA grant, which is $667,000. We have a loan from Rural Development, or EFC, I'm sorry, and I believe there's another loan in there. But I can get a hold of Rob Campany, and he can give me the exact loans and grants and what the dollar amounts are.
Okay. Do you remember off the top of your head, did we have the USDA grant?
I'm sorry, do you remember what?
That one I'm almost sure he said he'd seen.
Is
so
there a
I think I know the
USDA
answer to
grant
that.
in there?
Yes.
Okay, so those were the two that I was looking that we've got.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I think maybe even
I'm good with
Nicole's
that.
aware of that.
Yeah, there's a USDA grant.
Okay.
That's the one I was aware of, I was questioning the EFC, and so that's
Okay,
good.
Brent, do you
Okay.
have any text messages from the public at all?
No, I don't. No, hold on a second here. No text messages or calls.
Okay.
Neither.
Okay, our next, have we set our meetings for 2021? It's just gonna be the,
No, it would normally be the fourth Wednesday of the month, and the one thing we talked about starting to do in January was move the time of the meeting from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock,
Yeah,
well,
per the request of the public.
right.
okay,
Is there any?
And we
way
haven't
you can
officially done
help me?
that.
okay,
Are you busy the week before, is that it?
okay.
I thought you liked
Having it
it.
the last week of the month, it creates a lot of late payments,
On the
for
bills.
us, huh?
On the bills,
Yeah,
yeah.
'Cause
so
then
I
we get-
was wondering, could you move it up a week, but just have it on a different night, a Tuesday or a Thursday?
Well, I think Tuesday is court night,
Okay, that
Right.
wouldn't work.
Right.
and was there something else
Thursday
going
is
on
golf
Thursday?
night.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think Brent didn't like Thursdays because it's golf
Okay,
night.
golf.
Yeah, sorry, okay, well, we'll deal with it.
I'm just thinking as far as, like, I know, cause this issue comes up with other boards, and there's certain bills that are allowed to be paid,
Yeah.
like the telephone, the electric, you know, certain ones that are
Yeah.
really,
Utility, yep.
yeah, utility bills and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Do we have that ability right now?
yeah, we do that, that's what the prepaids are.
Okay, so that's already happened?
Yeah,
Okay,
Prepaid bills are usually on the top of our stack when Nicole gives them to us.
okay, okay. So would anyone like to make a motion that the regular town board meetings in 2021 will be the fourth Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m.?
Five.
What?
Didn't you ask it, move it to 5?
No, we're
moving
at
to
5
6,
now,
from
we're
5.
moving it to 6, so the public can have time to get home from work and come.
Right,
Okay.
and then you can be calling on the telephone to do
It'll
the
give you
budget
more time
transfer.
to
Because
get home.
details.
it used to be at 6, and then we
Yeah.
moved it to 5.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to 6.
I think it's a good move to go to 6, because if public participation, it's not fair.
Right, I
Yeah.
agree.
So anyone would like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Sandy, second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, Mike, discussion in regard to the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Okay? Anyone else have anything else to bring? You don't have any other text messages on your phone? Okay. Anyone else have anything else? Okay, we need a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting will be the 27th at 6 p.m. Anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Mike, second?
Me.
Sandy, discussion in regard to the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yep, see you.
2021's gotta be better.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy to.
Happy New Year.
Nicole, if two
Hey, was there
people
anything
come
more
in
you
and
wanted to
review your
talk to
bills
us about, Brad, or
before that
should I
fourth
just hang out?
Thursday, are you allowed to pay them if you have two signatures on them?
I don't know.
I'm gonna be a board.
'Cause I thought somebody told me a little while ago